A group of friends decided to embark on an exciting adventure in the forests of North Carolina. On their way to their destination, they decided to make a quick stop and check out an old abandoned cabin they noticed on the side of the road. The old building seemed like a perfect spot for a rest and a bit of thrill. As they entered, the temperature suddenly dropped, and the air became filled with an eerie coldness. Dusty items and old photographs adorned the walls, evoking a sense of ancient mystery about the place. Despite the ominous atmosphere, they decided to stay for the night. As darkness fell, strange things began happening in the cabin. They heard faint noises and footsteps behind the walls, yet whenever they investigated, they found nobody there. It was as if an inner voice was urging them to feel fear, but they couldn't pinpoint its source. At one point, as they were getting ready to sleep, one of the friends noticed a strange reflection in the window, a shadow that didn't correspond to anything inside the room. He decided to investigate, stepping outside. But as soon as he did, his friends heard his horrified scream. Rushing to his aid, they discovered that he was gone. He had simply vanished. Fear gripped them all. They realized too late that the cabin was not as innocent as it seemed. They had stumbled into the lair of something sinister and inexplicable. Now the friends must fight for their lives, unraveling the mysteries of the abandoned cabin. What is this creature, and how can they escape? Unanswered questions and fear closing in around them. The friends realized in horror that they were being pursued by something dark and sinister. They recalled old legends of forest spirits and curses, but whatever it was, they were already ensnared in its web. The remaining friends had to muster their courage and make a decision. They needed to find a way out of this nightmare. They searched the cabin for clues, but everything they found only confirmed that this place was steeped in darkness and fear. However, in the deepest corner of the room, they discovered an old parchment with mysterious runes and symbols. Illuminating it with a flashlight, they tried to decipher its meaning. It was a map. But it wasn't just any map. It pointed to a location in the forest where apparently something important was located, perhaps the key to their salvation. Without hesitation, they decided to head there. With every step into the depths of the forest, the sense of danger grew. It seemed as though the eyes of the dark entity were watching them from the thickets, and the rustling of the leaves sounded like ominous whispers. Finally, they reached the designated spot and found an old altar surrounded by candles and mysterious symbols. Understanding that this was their last hope, they began to perform the ritual described on the map, hoping that it would free them from the dark influence that had engulfed the cabin. With each word of the ritual spoken, something unimaginable began to happen around them. The earth shook, the trees creaked, and the air was filled with an aura of mysticism and magic. And suddenly, like in a fairy tale, the dreadful stillness was broken by a loud clap of thunder, and the dark clouds dispersed. The friends felt the heavy burden of fear leaving their hearts. They were free. However, when they returned to the cabin, it was already empty. There was no trace of the dark entity or the missing friend. They decided that the best thing they could do was to leave this place forever and never look back. And without looking back, they walked away, leaving this nightmare behind them for good.